Hello, we are Group 1. We are composed by María Camila Corredor, Valentina Muñoz, Andrés Castillo, and Daniel Cárdenas. And we are going to present the...
This brand was focused on young entrepreneur. They took later the brands Pronto and Be Cool. That brands are focused on teenagers, much more uncomplicated. Finally, they mix all these brands and create Coag. Is the new biggest brand of Permoda. Its business values include service, solidarity, commitment, and excellence, and others. All these skills help this company to make a difference in the market. We relate the company with the 7 habits of highly effective people as follows. First habit is proactivity. This habit in the company Permoda is reflect in their decisions for select the market and the specialization of their products in different type of niche, and also at the moment are focus their mission and values in their corporate responsibility.
The second habit is start with aim in mind. This is an important habit because it's the goal that the company wants to achieve in a near future. The company goal that Permoda fixed was the consolidation of their company in Colombia and in the countries that they have presence, and they achieve it. It's a good way to start with a company project.
Third is define the priorities. This is ideal because the priorities have to incarnate the company for the decisions that they have to take for develop their processes and obtain more profitabilities. The fourth is winning thinking, is the a cooperative negotiation between customers and company. The fifth is first understand to innovate. This habit is says that you have to listen your customers' recommendations to improve their products and be better every day. The sixth habit is synergize. This can evidence in the company because they know to take advantage of the niche and the different styles that they have. With that, they can make better results in their new products and innovate in a good way.
The seventh habit is sharpen the saw. This habit talks about the ability that the company has to renew their products and their processes to be more efficiently and as innovating all the time. The Permoda company has this ability in their technologies that they applies to create a new products, and this technology helps to spend less time and be more creative in their designs.
Okay, I'm going to present the risk of each of the options to choose. Futures. The futures contract is inherently risky. Signs in order to negotiate with them. A trader will have to possess substantial knowledge about the risk involved and at the same time how to handle them with in the best way. Sorry. Leverage is associated with the ability of a company or negotiator or trader to get into debt. The leverage is an assistance to the trader to get into the future contract with an investment, but also is that for that it's risky, because if a trader don't have the capacity to pay that, maybe will be in some troubles. The type of interest. This is directly related to the market. So the market changes all the time. Because of that, the interest changes too. For that, it's so difficult to have a certainly forecast of the interest rate. Liquidity. This factor is or have a great importance, since it can determine a decision to trade or not. If this is low, maybe it doesn't have a negotiation, but if it's a good liquidity, it's good for the contract. Okay, operational risk. This risk is linked to the abilities and attitudes that have a negotiator, trader, or the employees of a company. These abilities or aptitudes, this will be necessary to make a good decisions, and also this is based on real market data. Next, we have the forward contract. This type of contract is very used by large companies, since it helps to cover the exchange rate and the interest rate risk. This type of contract have confidential information. For that, it's difficult to make a forecast of them. Also, forward contracts have a statement date without taking into account the future options. Okay, finally we have options. This is limited to the premium paid for the option.
So now I'm going to present the last 3 years flows of account payables made by Permoda company for consider of payments to foreign suppliers. So we're going to analyze the actual case and the amounts of money paid annually, and we're going to see how much time it is paid in a year and how often, to see more specifically the real amount paid in each year time. And so we can evaluate in a bubble matrix, taking into account the 5 criteria points related with the contract options and offers of the national and international banks. So first, we made the tables of the rotation of account payable for the 3 last years, taking into account the net income from sales and the accounts receivables to get to the average accounts of payables. We also present the number of times the account payable rotates for each year, and as a result the days between these times of pay. We see that the days between these times are increasing, so the pays are made almost each 2 months. So we have the flow rotations on flow of the counts in the 6 months and with the amounts. Then we have the second graph in which we are taking the number of the times the accounts payable rotate as an average, and also the days it takes to rotate. So the flows are with a different amount. After that, we develop the graphs of the days and the times the pays are made by the company, and we can note that the times of the pays are increasing because there are less for the last year, that cause that the days of the pays between the times are increasing, so it is almost 2 months. After that, we develop the graphs of the days and the times. Then we pass to develop the bubble matrix, where we're going to evaluate each of the contract options, taking into account the 5 criteria established of the contracts, and the 5 banks that can offer the contracts in taking into account the different characteristics they are offering. And these criteria we pass to assign to each contract a qualification, and each bank also has a qualification to get the average of each contract and get to know what is the best option for the company and the amount of money and natural of the actual case.
Explanation of the decision making. A Vogel matrix was carried out in which the 5 select criteria were taken into account to evaluate the different options, taking into account the data of the 5 different select international and national banks. In this way, a weight was assigned to each criterion depending on its relevance for the final decision making. Next, the punctual rating is assigned for each criterion in each of the available options. This depending on the characteristics of each bank, the products it offers and its coverage. When registering the ratings, taking into account the weights of each previously assigned criterion, we obtain the weights of each option, which, when added together, give us the option that best suits and brings the greatest benefits for the company. And also we reviewing the ratings by banks. We realize which bank it will be better to obtain the option. Finally, after performing the detailed analysis, the results show that the best option gives the nature of the problem and the characteristics of the economy is to develop. A forward with the bank BGC, Partner Asia. The main reasons for these results are the requirement of the amount of purchase of foreign currency, the duration and maturity periods of the contract, and by the bank we realize that is the one that presents to lower current and future exchange rate. Conclusions. We managed to identify the way in which the company Permoda Ltda managed to implement the 7 habits of highly effective people, showing greater competitiveness compared to other companies that develop the same commercially activity. After analyzing the different risks, it is conclude that the one of minor negative insights